My name is Kenny. I've been in Uber for close to 2 years now. I started off as the general manager for Malaysia expansion, and what I do in the business is basically launch and expand cities in Malaysia, and the overall business in Malaysia, just managing it. Yeah.
So I think what Uber is very famous for is the carpool as a service, carpool as on-demand service. So maybe you could share what kind of analytics you are using and how can we implement it in other transportation sector. Yeah.
Okay, so we have launched Uber Pool in a number of cities, including Jakarta, Singapore, Los Angeles. How Uber Pool works, it matches riders going in like starting at a similar point or ending in a similar point, but most importantly is a common route in that journey, right? And that's how we essentially bring less cars on the road by putting more people into fewer cars. Now, how does this work in the back end of like Uber and all that? Like, obviously, I won't show you like the algorithm, but it's behind the technology. It's just a match rate of how do we connect two similar paths. But even then, that sounds like quite simplistic by nature. But a similar path can be 1 kilometer away and can be 10 kilometers away. And there's obviously a whole bunch of other factors like traffic and bottlenecks to the route that might be essentially different, one-way roads versus two-way roads. And I guess that is the hardest part of that matching technology that we believe with our data we can solve, and we do solve.
With this kind of technology, right, how do you vision the future traffic? Maybe how fast can you reduce the traffic, but how many percent do you have an estimate?
Well, I can't give you exact numbers right now, and it's also very different depending on which city, which country, the transport, the dynamics of the transport. So I can't give you specifics in that, but like examples that I sort of showed in my presentation, and this is more focusing on congestion and pollution, is in Los Angeles, for example, 7.9 million miles were saved in a year alone just by carpooling, right? And that's huge, and that results in like 1,400 metric tons of carbon dioxide being reduced. Now, are these numbers significant? Yes, definitely, right? If we look at studies on urban mobility, it's quite clear that all this has an environmental impact that essentially leads to a cost, and that is how Uber and Uber Pool can solve these problems as well.
Right. So currently, are there any technology solution providers or partners that you are looking to work with?
I think we do work with a number of technology partners, in some sense like mapping services. We work with Google Maps, we work with Waze. So those are some of the examples of technology partners we work with. It's essentially we alone as a business will need some of these functional partners to build a better product. Aside from the fact that there's a possibility, of course, like in any of these products, we can internally develop them over time as well.
Yeah, I saw you having some discussion with some of the participants after the event. Maybe you could share how has your experience here been so far?
Yeah.
Asia IoT Business Platform.
Yeah. So it's really welcoming to see people being engaged in IoT, and I guess what everyone was keen and sort of excited about was that how disruptive technology is changing the marketplace. We've all come to know the different internet businesses that have changed industries. Uber is one of them, Airbnb is another, and I think as rightly pointed by Dr. Zaha, if we don't keep up with times and we don't keep it in check of things of such disruptive technology, we ourselves in our own businesses get disrupted, right? Example is a question that in our business we ask ourselves every day is, what is tomorrow's problem? By knowing tomorrow's problem today, that's where we find the solutions ahead of time, rather than waiting for the problem to surface and then eventually figuring out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.